Live from Dooley Health and Care Field in Joliet, Illinois this afternoon, our coverage of the 2023 Chicagoland Collegiate Athletics Conference Baseball Championship Tournament continues, as today we have game number 14 of a potential 15 total games. It is a championship round opening game between the Titans of Indiana University South Bend and the St. Xavier Cougars. Hi again, everybody, and good afternoon. I'm Tom Westenfeld. Great to have you along with us as we continue on our second game of the day and potentially our final game of the tournament as Indiana South Bend faces St. Xavier. St. Xavier able to advance in this game by virtue of a 7-4 win over Roosevelt in a game completed earlier on today. Game that began around 10:15 a.m. and now we move on, and this is the first round of the championship, the first game of the championship round. If Indiana South Bend wins, then they will claim the 2023 baseball championship in the CCAC. And if St. Xavier prevails, we will come back again tomorrow night for a winner-take-all ball game here at Dooley Health and Care Field. So here we go on a cloudy and misty and just a overcast day here in Joliet, Illinois. The temperature checking in at 65 degrees. It seems cooler than that. We can see some of the fans down below in the seats bundled up here. 65 degrees is the game time temperature. Right now, no rain. Had rain on the way here today, arriving at the ballpark around 9:15 a.m. or so, and had rain on the way, but so far so good as far as precipitation goes. No delays, and technically that's not true. We had about a 15-minute delay after the scheduled 10 a.m. start time today, but we are still on track to finish this tournament in a timely fashion. Let's take a look at the batting orders now for today's game. And for Indiana South Bend, they will be the visiting team for this game. It'll be Anthony Pohl leading it off and catching, followed by the third baseman Logan Smith. Brendan Bell batting third in at first base. Then the DH Caleb Farnham. It'll be Cole Miller batting in the number 5 spot and in right field. Then Brett Sikorsky, the shortstop, batting 6th. Then it'll be Owen Benson batting 7th and in center field. Devin Smith batting 8th and at second base, and then batting 9th, the left fielder Josiah Nelson. And it'll be Peyton Carney on the mound today for Indiana South Bend. So here we go, and you can hear the crowd getting into it already. Logan McCleary is on the mound this afternoon for St. Xavier. He will try to pitch his team to victory and send us to a deciding game, an if necessary game tomorrow night. So, wherever you may be, we're glad you've joined us here on this Monday. And the first pitch of the ball game to Anthony Pohl will miss inside. And so 1-0 here to Anthony Pohl. Indiana South Bend getting to this point by virtue as they are the only undefeated team left in the tournament, as Pohl swings and pops it up right side, foul territory, not far from the bullpen, backpedaling, and Trevor Hauscher, starting at first base today for St. Xavier, will make the catch, and that will be the first out of the ball game. So one away, and that'll bring to the plate Logan Smith. Smith, the senior from his 5'11", 190-pounder, and he has, I think, the most important hit of the tournament. We were just saying, Indiana South Bend able to maintain their undefeated record. They've won all 3 games they played, and they won the last game Saturday night, which was a marathon thanks to a 1-hour weather delay, but they won that game 8-7, and Logan Smith, I think, again, had the most important hit of the tournament with the grand slam home run after Roosevelt had taken an early 4-1 lead. As there's the first pitch in for a called strike. And so it's 0-1 here. It was a 4-1 ball game. Roosevelt after 1. Roosevelt eventually led 5-1, and then Smith with one swing of the bat, I think, turned the entire game around with a grand slam homer as he takes here over below. 1 ball, 1 strike. As actually Brendan Bell had the grand slam, but Logan Smith actually had the second at-bat home run in the first game. There's a bouncer wide of the bag foul, and it's now 1-2. I went on and on about Logan Smith, but it was Brendan Bell. We'll talk about that in a moment. But Logan Smith had a home run in his own right in the second at-bat of the tournament. A monster blast to straightaway center field, which is at 400 feet. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. And now the wind and the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss, strike three, and that'll be the second out of the inning. And now here's Brendan Bell, who, as we talked about, had that grand slam, and it turned the momentum of the ball game around. Roosevelt had all the momentum going into that sector of the game, that portion of the game. And then the Titans of Indiana South Bend able to load the bases, and with one swing, Bell hitting a ball over the left field fence near the scoreboard for a grand slam. And Indiana South Bend ultimately took an 8-5 lead and held on, winning at 8-7. Fly ball to left field, fairly deep, back to the track, back to the fence, looking up, and the catch made in left field by Dowling, who it looked like fell down as he was trying to make the grab with his back pinned against the wall, and that will end the inning. So Bell sends one deep here, but it's a long out, and in the inning for St. Xavier. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base, and after a half inning, it is Indiana South Bend nothing, and Roosevelt and St. Xavier coming to bat. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. All right, so on we go now to the bottom of the first inning. And Indiana South Bend not able to score in their half of the opening frame, so we go bottom one now, and it'll be Kevin Dowling leading it off for St. Xavier. As it'll be Dowling, the right-handed left fielder, batting here for St. Xavier to start off the ball game against Peyton Carney on the mound for Indiana South Bend. The first pitch at the bottom of the first inning, look out. And Dowling ducks out of the way of that one and had kind of a look back out at the pitcher there as that ball came directly toward his helmet, but he was able to duck out of the way. 1 ball, no strikes for Dowling. He'll be followed in the batting order by Patrick Hayes, batting second and at second base. Now the home plate umpire will walk out toward the mound, and now the rest of the umpiring crew will join him. Patrick Hayes batting second and at second base today for St. Xavier. Then Evan Orzik batting third and catching, followed by Declan Smith, the shortstop. Then Darren Zerillo batting in the number 5 spot and at third base. Then Sam Ryan, the DH, followed by Daniel Barrios, the right fielder. Trevor Hauscher batting 8th and at first base, and Colin Wolf, the number 9 hitter, and in center field. Swinging a ground ball right to Brett Sikorsky at short, gloves it, throws to first, and that'll be the first out of the inning for St. Xavier. So one away, and that'll bring to the plate Patrick Hayes. Hayes in game 1 today in the win over Roosevelt, going 1 for 5 with a run scored. Struck out 3 times in that game. As Peyton Carney now comes set. And the pitch. And that's a check swing. Did he go around? Looks like the umpire at first base says yes, he did. And so 0-1 to Patrick Hayes. Temperature, as we said, 65 degrees under overcast skies. Looks like no rain to the west here to move in. So hopefully we'll, as a pitch goes to the backstop here to make it 1-1, hopefully we'll get the ball game in unimpeded by rain. And then, depending on the result, we may or may not be back here tomorrow night. 1-1 strike here to Patrick Hayes. Here's the set of the pitch. And that one nearly hitting Hayes. Is that one up and in? So Kearney early on, a little bit of a control issue here as the count goes to 2-1 to Patrick Hayes. Hayes, right-handed batter, stands in. Back foot just inside the back line of the batter's box. Here's the set now by Kearney and the pitch. Swing and a miss. Did not catch up to that heater. He actually did get a piece of it, but it was a foul tip called strike anyway, and it's now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Kearney, a 3-4 record this year with a 5.79 ERA. Fastball upstairs. And so that will move it now to three balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on, bottom 1 in this potentially tournament-ending game. The payoff. Hit well to left field and curling toward the corner. Long run here in left field for Nelson. He will not get to it. Extra bases here as the throw back to the infield, but pulling in is Patrick Hayes with a stand-up double. And St. Xavier has a 1-out runner in scoring position. So Hayes with his second hit of the day. And now Evan Orzik due up for St. X. Orzik in game 1, 1 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. So Orzik stands in. And right now, Peyton Kearney having to deal with an early base runner in scoring position here in the bottom of the first inning. Here's the set now and the first pitch. And Orzik takes high and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Kearney, right-handed pitcher, straight up on the mound there. He has thrown 28 innings coming into the game, a turn and no throw to second base. Kearney's allowed 31 hits, 21 runs, 18 of which have been earned. Walked 16 and struck out 14. Opponent's average is at 287 against him. He comes set here. And now the pitch to the plate. And that'll be outside for ball 1 to Evan Orzik. Correction, 2 balls and no strikes the count. Had it written in my book, looked up though, and the scoreboard had not yet changed, but it is in fact 2-0. Kearney now kind of bouncing up and down a little bit on the mound, kicks and deals. And this is a sharp liner caught at second base, and they'll throw to second trying to double up the runner, but the ball dropped there. I don't think they would have gotten him anyway had Sikorsky been able to hold on to the ball. It's a line drive right to Devin Smith for the out. And that'll be out number 2 in the inning. And that will bring up Declan Smythe. Smythe in game 1 today against Roosevelt. A good game, 2 for 4 with an RBI, and he scored twice. And right now, Kearney trying to strand that base runner at second and leave him in scoring position. First pitch here, swing and a miss. And the ball, that was a good pitch. It dove down and away in the zone. And so Smythe behind now, no balls and 1 strike. Darren Zerillo would be next if the inning continues. Bottom of 1, no score in the game. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swung on and hit to Sikorsky at short. He gobbles it up, throws to first, and that'll end the inning. So St. Xavier threatens, but they cannot cash in the inning. No runs for St. Xavier on a hit, no errors, and they leave a runner at second in scoring position. After 1, no score. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. All right, we head to the top of the second inning. Neither team able to score here in the opening games, in the opening inning of this game. And so it'll be Caleb Farnham leading it up now for Indiana South Bend. Farnham, left-handed batter, stands in. Indiana South Bend, they've had the longest wait now since their last game. There's a breaking ball missing inside. 1 ball and no strikes to Farnham. It'll be Farnham, Miller, and Sikorsky due up here for the Titans. Indiana South Bend's last game was Saturday night. There's a check swing. 2 balls and no strikes. And we were talking in the first game today about how winning that final standalone winner's bracket game makes it such an easier path. Plus, you get a long rest before having to play again, while everybody else has to get maybe a little bit worn out trying to survive in this tournament. There's a pitch high for ball 3. 3-0 to Caleb Farnham. So Farnham stands in, and possibly a chance for a leadoff walk, although the 3-1, the count now 3-1 after that 3-0 pitch coming in and catching the outside half of the plate. And here's the wind now and the pitch. And this is drilled to the right side, but a diving catch there in short right field by Hayes, who dove to his left. Full extension there and made the grab, and that's the first out of the inning. Great contact there, but great defense as well, and now they'll bring up Cole Miller. Miller, right-handed batter, now will stand in. And here's the first pitch in a swing and a foul off to the right side. And so it is 0-1. Miller in the Saturday game against Roosevelt was one of the few players with an offer. He was 0 for 4. There's a bouncer foul to the left side. So no balls and 2 strikes. Miller back into the batter's box. And the pitch. This is a hit in the air. Medium deep center field and underneath it. And the catch made by Colin Wolf in center field for out number 2. As that ball took a little bit of time to come back down. So 2 away, and that'll bring up Brett Sikorsky. Sikorsky was 0 for 3 in the win Saturday night over Roosevelt by Indiana South Bend. The Titans were out hitting that game 11-6. This ball is hit well, but right to first base. And Hauscher gloves and runs to the bag at first for the unassisted putout to end the inning. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Scoreless game between Indiana South Bend and St. Xavier. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. For St. Xavier now, it will be Darren Zerillo leading it off here for the Cougars in the bottom of the second inning. And so far, neither team able to score in this championship round opening game. As Zerillo stands in, it'll be Zerillo, Ryan, and Barrios due up for St. X. Peyton Kearney working out of the stretch as he always does. And his first pitch is a strike on the inner half, and it is 0-1 for Zerillo. Zerillo, in the game against Roosevelt earlier today, went 2 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI. And he is able to get a hold of this one, but fouled it back. And so 0-2 here for Darren Zerillo. He'll be followed by Sam Ryan, and then, as we said, Daniel Barrios due up here in the bottom of the second inning. Here's the set now. And the pitch. And that'll be over but low. So a ball and 2 strikes. Zerillo, right-handed batter. Taps the plate with the edge of his bat. And now here's the set and the pitch from Peyton Kearney. And it looked like he had a lot behind that pitch, but he came in high and in on the delivery. And so the count even at 2-2 is Zerillo had to duck out of the way of that pitch. Righty versus righty here as we start things off in the bottom of the second. There's a swing and a foul ball off to the right out of play. And we'll hold it 2-2. Normally this would be a game following the schedule of recent years. Would be, if memory serves, a night game. Would be a 7 o'clock start. And then they would come back the following night for the if necessary game, depending on the outcome. But they've reworked the schedule this year, foul back out of play, and it's 2-2. Where the first championship round game of the tournament being held on a Monday afternoon. In past years, they would start the tournament on a Friday, but now it starts annually on a Thursday as the next pitch, a fastball, and it hits Zerillo, and so he will take his base, and St. Xavier has their second base runner of the game on board. And now Sam Ryan will step to the plate. For Kearney, it's his 10th hit batter of the year. He's third on the pitching staff for South Bend in that category. And here's Sam Ryan. First pitch to him, he went after it as it was outside, and he skies it foul into the seats to the right, and so it's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike the count. 1 on, and nobody out, bottom of 2. Both teams still in search of their first run of the ball game. Throw to first and the runner back in. Yeah, I think in previous years you'd play the game that we had earlier on today at 4 o'clock. And then the winner of that game plays in a 7 p.m. game against the winner's bracket champion. There's a swing and a foul ball. Actually, well, it will be a foul ball, but it's going to be playable. I thought it would go into the seats, and eventually it does land on the berm down the right field side. Brendan Bell going after that ball. But he ran out of room in the count even now at a ball on a strike. Or is it 0-2? Let me look here and see. And it is 0-2 on the scoreboard. Yeah, I marked the first pitch as a strike in my scorebook too, so. Anyway, we're back on track. No balls and 2 strikes. And the pitch. Again lifted in the air. Again to the right side. This time it looks like it'll be playable, but it'll drop in there. And now a play at second base for the lead runner, trying to force out the runner. And it looks like they get him. Didn't see a definitive signal from the umpire there at second. But that winds up to be a ball hit to the right side. It goes to right field, and it'll be a fielder's choice. Zerillo out at second base for the first out of the inning. And Ryan aboard at first now, and that'll bring up Daniel Barrios. So Barrios will stand in. As that was a fielder's choice, and it was a 9-6 putout. There's a swing and a miss, strike 1 to Barrios. Well, you'll often see 9-3 putouts in softball. Very occasionally, probably exceedingly rare would be the better way to put it. You might see it in baseball. There's a ball high. And the count now even at a ball and a strike, but a 9-6 force play there. So Bell gets an assist out of that. Here's the 1-1 runner going, swing and a miss, and Anthony Pohl not able to make a clean exchange from mitt to hand there, and he'd wound up dropping the ball. And so Sam Ryan has a stolen base, and St. Xavier, for the second time in as many innings, has a runner in scoring position. Bottom of the second inning. Runner at second, one away for St. Xavier. Here's the set now by Peyton Kearney. And the pitch. Swung on and hit well, but right to second base. Gloving it near the edge of the outfield there. At second is Devin Smith. Throws to first for the out. Productive out, however, as the runner is able to be advanced to third base. That's just the way you draw it up. So Ryan into third. He is 90 feet away, but there are now two away in the inning for Trevor Hauscher. Hauscher did not play in the first game today for St. Xavier. As the first pitch in for a strike, and it's 0-1. Hauscher, right-handed batter, back into the batter's box. Runner at third, two-way. The pitch, swinging a foul. And now Peyton Kearney a strike away from stranding a runner in scoring position for the second straight inning. No balls and two strikes now to Trevor Hauscher. Colin Wolfe, the number 9 hitter in the order, would be next for St. Xavier. Here's the set now by Kearney, and the pitch. Low and away, tried to get him to chase, but Hauscher moves it to a 1-2 count as he took that pitch all the way. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the set now, and the pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. And that will end the inning. That did not miss hitting Hauscher by much. And he looks back and has, I think, a little bit of a word with the umpire, who now is responding, it appears, and this inning comes to an end. So in the inning for St. Xavier, no runs, no hits, no errors, a hit batter, and 1 left on base. And after 2 complete, it's Indiana South Bend nothing, St. Xavier nothing, and you're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. Here we go now to the top of the third inning in a scoreless game. Indiana South Bend looking to take the tournament championship here today. St. Xavier trying to extend the tourney one more day. And Owen Benson leading it up now for the Titans takes the first pitch of the top of the third inning outside for ball 1. It'll be Benson, Smith, and Nelson due up as the next pitch in for a called strike to make it 1-1. Devin Smith will be batting second, then Josiah Nelson batting third here for the Titans in the top of the third inning. Here's the wind now, and the 1-1 in there for a called strike on a breaking ball. As Logan McCleary going to work here. Has a strikeout, not yet walked a batter in his first 2 innings of work. 1 ball, 2 strikes in the pitch. There's a bouncer to the right side and a long journey there at second base for Hayes, but he's able to get to the ball and throw to first for the out. Hayes was playing a little bit more toward the middle of the field there, and it had a long way to go to his left, but he made the play and 1 away in the inning. 1 away, and that'll bring to the plate Devin Smith. Smith in the Titans' last game against Roosevelt went 0 for 4. And the first pitch to him. Down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Smith, left-handed batter, stands in. And the 1-0. Swung on and popped foul back out of play. And we're even at 1-1. Well, despite the fact we're in a weekday afternoon time slot here, good crowd on hand and a vocal crowd. Always great to see. Here's the 1-1. And a 2-hopper back to the pitcher. And this will be a 1-3 putout as McCleary throws to Hauscher for out number 2 in the inning. 2 away, and that'll bring to the plate Josiah Nelson. Nelson in the Titans win over Roosevelt on Saturday night, going 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. He bats here with nobody on and 2 away here in the bottom, the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch coming in from McCleary, high and tight, and it's 1-0. McCleary looking to stay perfect through 3 as he has faced the minimum thus far. 1 ball, no strikes, and the pitch. Swung on, this is drilled and a leaping catch. That ball was, I thought, for sure headed to right center field, but moving to his right, Hayes into the air and reels it in, and that'll end the inning. So once again for the Titans, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Great defense there. And we go bottom 3, no score. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Here we go now to the bottom of the 3rd inning. No score as of yet in this game, and it'll be Colin Wolf leading it up now for St. Xavier. 9-1-2 in the Cougar order due to the plate here in this 3rd inning. As Peyton Carney ready to go to work here for Indiana South Bend. St. Xavier thus far has the only hit of the ball game. The 1-out double by Patrick Hayes back in the 1st. Swinging a pop foul right side out of play, and it's 0-1 for Colin Wolf. Peyton Carney on the mound, his 2nd start of the tournament. He started the 1st game of the tournament back on Thursday morning. Went 2 innings but was credited with a win. First pitch here, swinging a foul back. The next pitch, rather, and now the count is no balls and 2 strikes to Colin Wolf. Kearney in that game going 2 innings, allowing 3 hits, not allowing a run. He walked 1 and struck out a pair. Righty versus righty here, and the 0-2. Pop foul again out of play, and will hold at no balls and 2 strikes. Colin Wolf in the opening game today against Roosevelt. 0 for 3. Both of these teams getting to this point by virtue of wins over the number 7 seeded Roosevelt Lakers. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3, and 1 away in the inning. And now back to the top of the order, and Kevin Dowling. Dowling 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop his first time up. As we play here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And base runners have been scarce so far in this game. The first pitch missing outside, 1-0. Pole behind the plate trying to frame that pitch. Actually, he did frame it, trying to get the call, but that didn't happen. 1 ball, no strikes. Dowling awaits, reaches out, and grounds this ball to the right side. Directly to Devin Smith, throws to first base, and there are 2 down in the inning. 2 up and 2 down, and that'll bring to the plate Patrick Hayes. Hayes, to this point, has the only hit of this contest. A 1-out double in the first inning on the second at bat of the game for the Cougars, as the first pitch here over but low, 1 ball, no strikes. And Hayes, after that 2-base hit, was stranded at second base, didn't advance any further. Here's the set now in the delivery. Swung on and high into the air. Back behind first base. Who wants it? And reaching up, Brendan Bell, as he straddles the foul line, makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. And a snappy 1-2-3 inning ball game. 1-2-3 inning in what's been a quick ball game thus far. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. And after 3, it remains a scoreless game. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We head to the 4th inning, and Anthony Pohl will start it off now, the leadoff hitter in the order and in this inning for Indiana South Bend. And he takes the first pitch in for a called strike, 0-1. Titans, a very powerful offensive team throughout the tournament and throughout the year, but right now they have so far met their match in the starter for St. Xavier, Logan McCleary, who deals there and misses low, and the count now, actually the count is 1-1 after that pitch was delivered, and now that'll be a called strike. And now 1-2 here to Anthony Pohl, who popped out to first base to start the ball game for the Titans. No score in this game, the only hit so far for St. X. There's a ball down and away, and it evens it up now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. We've had overcast skies except for maybe about a two minute period back in the first game. Overcast and cool the entire day. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swinging a pop-up right side. That'll be out of play. And we're at 2-2. Pohl, Logan Smith, and Brendan Bell due up. McCleary into the wind. He was at 25 pitches when the inning started. Swinging a foul back, and we'll hold it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pohl back into the batter's box. The wind and the 2-2. In the air, and then will drop into center field for a base hit. First hit of the game for Indiana South Bend. And Pohl is aboard with a go-ahead run here. And we'll have a pinch runner coming in for Pohl. And I believe it will be Colby Campbell coming in to run now, as Logan Smith will come to the plate. Part of a dangerous pair of hitters coming up now for South Bend. There's a swing and a bouncer wide of the bag, first foul, and it's 0-1. Smith 0 for 1 with a swinging strikeout his first time up. So it is Campbell at first base now for Indiana South Bend. 0-1 to Logan Smith. Throw to first base and the runner back in as we were chatting in the first inning, and initially I had them reversed, but both Smith and his teammate that follows him in the order, Brendan Bell, with crucial homers in this tournament. Throw to first base and a close play, but Campbell back in safely. Campbell takes the lead off first base. Here's the set now. Throw to first, and again the runner back in. Campbell inches off the bag again. Here's the set now, and the pitch. This will be bounced to the left side. And moving over to his left, there's Zerillo at third. Gloves throws to second to get the lead runner, and it's barely in time as Campbell is forced out. Campbell with a slide in his second and almost beat that throw. So Logan Smith reaches on a fielder's choice. One away in the inning for Brendan Bell, and he goes after the first pitch and fouled it away, and so he's behind at 0-1. That was a 5-4 fielder's choice. No balls, 1 strike the count. Throw to first base and the runner back in. So McCleary loses the bid for the perfect game and or no-hitter. Although very early to be talking about anything like that, as this next pitch behind the batter will go to the backstop. And that will allow now Logan Smith to take second base on a wild pitch. And now the Titans have a runner in scoring position for the first time in this game. The count on Brendan Bell is at 1-1. McCleary comes set. And long look at second. Now he deals to the plate, and it'll miss low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes as we play here in the top half of inning number 4. And so far a 0-0 game, but Indiana South Bend threatening with 1 away in the inning. Here comes the delivery. Hit sharply to the left side, and that will be knocked down at short there. But no play available for Declan Smythe, and everybody will be safe. Well, that saved the advancement by Logan Smith, who has to stay at second base. So a fine defensive play nonetheless, but Bell aboard with an infield single. And now that'll bring up Caleb Farnham. And now a meeting at the mound here for St. Xavier. Both bullpens are quiet at the moment. Indiana South Bend with a little bit of margin for error. They do not absolutely have to win this game. But as in the case, I think, with every team in their situation, you want to try to put the tournament away as soon as possible and win this game. While on the flip side, St. Xavier trying to extend the tournament and their season. Meeting on the mound is over. And now Farnham to stand in. Farnham lined out to second base. Great play at second there by Hayes. Kind of leaped into the air on a hard hit liner for the out. That was back in the second inning. So Farnham stands in. Runners take their leads at first and second. One away, 2 runners aboard here for Indiana South Bend. McCleary out of the stretch. Kicks and fires. And that'll be bounced in front of home plate. It'll spin foul about maybe, I'd say, 15 feet up the first base line. So that'll be a foul ball. And 0-1 now to Caleb Farnham. Farnham back to the batter's box. Cole Miller would be next, and then it would be Brett Sikorsky for Indiana South Bend. Titans, as we have said, certainly an offensive-minded team. They have scored a lot of runs to date in this tournament. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good pitch there. And Farnham swinging through that one. And he is behind at 0-2. Titans scoring 5 in the first game, then 11 against St. Francis, and then 8 against Roosevelt Saturday night. Swinging a hard hit ball to the right side. Diving there is Hayes. Gets to one knee, throws to second for one. The relay not in time. But a good play there, and again, that potentially saving a run for the moment. As a fielder's choice, Farnham is aboard. Brendan Bell forced at second. On the play, Logan Smith goes to third. And that will leave it up now to Cole Miller for Indiana South Bend. So runners at the corners with 2 away in the inning. Miller 0 for 1, flied out to center field his first time up. So here we go, righty versus righty, and a swing and a one-hopper back to the pitcher. This should be routine, and it is, as McCleary throws to Hauscher, and that'll end the inning and end the threat. So one pitch, and McCleary gets out of the inning. No runs for the Titans in the 4th inning. No runs on a hit. No errors. 2 left on base. And we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It stays Indiana South Bend nothing, St. Xavier nothing, and you are tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. Evan Orzik to start it off now for St. Xavier as we head to the bottom half of the fourth inning. As a scoreless game here thus far. Both teams have had chances but not yet able to cash in. And the first pitch here, and that will miss outside. 1 ball and no strikes to Evan Orzik. Orzik, Smythe, and Zerillo do up here for St. X. The season on the line for St. Xavier. They need to win to extend the tournament one more game. Swinging a bouncer to the right side, wide of first foul, and now we are at 1-1 here for Orzik. Orzik 0 for 1. He lined out to second base. His first time up. 2 hits for Indiana South Bend in the ball game, and now 1 for St. Xavier. Hayes, that first inning double remaining, the only hit so far for the Cougars. And the pitch, there's a wave and a miss. And now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Anthony Pohl back into the game catching after he was lifted for a pinch runner in the last half inning. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Knocked down behind the plate there by Pohl. Throws to first base, and that will complete the out. And that is out number 1 for St. Xavier in the fourth inning. So 1 away for Declan Smythe. Smythe 0 for 1, grounding out to the shortstop his first time up. Here's the set now, and the first pitch. And this is hit to the right side out of play, and it's 0-1. Zerillo next, then Sam Ryan if we continue on that far. As the train rolls by here in downtown Joliet. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball well placed there by Peyton Carney, and it's in for a called strike. And so that makes it now no balls and 2 strikes. Righty versus righty. And the pitch. Swinging a foul back. And we'll keep it at 0-2. 1 out, nobody on here in the St. X fourth inning. So far, no runs up on the board. Lights have been on all day since we arrived, but they're having, I think, a little bit of an effect right now. There's a swing and a sharply hit ball left side, and then he'll sneak into left field for a base hit. Logan Smith diving to his left there, not able to get to the ball. And so a 1-out single. That's the second hit of the game for the Cougars. And now Darren Zerillo will come up to bat. Zerillo was hit by a pitch his first time up. So Zerillo stands in, righty versus righty again. As Declan Smythe takes his lead off first, and now back to first on a throw over there by Peyton Carney. All right, Carney now comes set. And the pitch. That's a fastball. Missed inside. 1 ball and no strikes. 1 on, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth inning. In a 0-0 game. And much is on the line, and that might be an understatement. There's a throw to first base and the runner in. With a win, Indiana South Bend will take the tournament championship and move on to the NAIA World Series opening round. St. Xavier trying to accomplish that goal as well, but they need to win twice over the Titans. Here's the set and the pitch. And that'll be a strike, a heater on the inner half of the plate. And the count even at a ball and a strike. One ball, 1 strike the count. I'm trying to remember the last time we might have needed the extra game in the championship round. I think it's been a while. Here's the 1-1. Started a swing, tried to hold up. And the ruling is that he did. So now 2-1. I thought I heard an extra little bit of sound in my headset. Thought maybe that was a foul tip, but the count goes to 2 balls and a strike. Throw to first base and the runner in safely again. We play in the bottom of the fourth inning. Nothing game. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Zerillo chasing after that one and coming up empty. And the count squared at 2-2 strikes. 2-2. And the delivery. Swung on and lifted in the air, curling down toward the right field line and toward the corner. And now land in fair territory and bounce into the corner. Here's Smythe. He'll pull into third base. Runners at second and third now on the double by Darren Zerillo. Good play there in right field by Cole Miller to get to the ball and get it back in. And that held Smythe at third base. Second double of the game for St. X, and now here's Sam Ryan. And a chance to deliver the first runs of the ball game here. Maybe two with a base hit, perhaps. Ryan hit into a fielder's choice his first time up. That was that 9-6 force play at second base. And here comes the set, but now time called. Runners at second and third, one away in the bottom of the fourth inning. First pitch by Kearney. And it's in there for a called strike to make it 0-1. Kearney right now needs a strikeout or a pop-out. Looks like right now Indiana South Bend, they are prepared to concede the run, the infield back at regular depth. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at the ball down in the zone. And quickly now, no balls and 2 strikes to Sam Ryan. Smythe at third, Zerillo at second base. Here comes the set now. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss at the ball up in the zone. Some high heat there. And a huge strikeout there for Peyton Kearney. And that is out number 2, and that leaves it up to Daniel Barrios. So now, here's the set as it is Alex Babbitt being shown on the mound now for Indiana South Bend as the next pitch. And then a miss outside. And it is 1 ball and no strikes here. Barrios is 0 for 1 with a ground out to second base. Babbitt's been great in relief for Indiana South Bend this year. The next pitch down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Barrios stands in. And so it turns out that the blueprint that was laid out in the first game is repeated here as far as the pitchers go in this first game of the championship round for Indiana South Bend. There's a swing and a foul. As Peyton Kearney in this game winds up going 2 innings. And he allowed a hit. No runs. And he walked a batter. Actually struck out a batter, did not walk a batter. So now Alex Babbitt, right-hander, on the mound. Here's the set now. And the delivery. Swinging a bouncer. It hits Babbitt's glove. Bounces back behind the mound, and a run will score, and St. Xavier takes the lead. On a comebacker, Babbitt leaping up in the air on the mound. Had he not gotten to it, it likely, I think, would have been a better chance for an out, but it went off Babbitt's glove. And everybody's safe, and a run comes in, and St. Xavier takes the 1-0 lead. Declan Smythe able to score. And now it'll be Darren Zerillo going to third. Barrios aboard with an RBI infield single. 1-0 St. Xavier. Now here's Trevor Hauscher. Hauscher 0 for 1, called out on strikes his first time up. Here's the first pitch. And Babbitt misses on that one, and it is 1 ball and no strikes. Babbitt in the first game went 7 innings in helping to defeat Trinity Christian in the Titans' opening game of this tournament. There's a throw to first base and the runner back in. Babbitt, the right-hander now. Comes set. Runners at first and third, and the pitch. Down and away. Good stop behind the plate there by Anthony Pohl. As the count here, 2 balls and no strikes. 1-0 St. Xavier, bottom of the 4th inning. Trevor Hauscher at the plate. Here's the set and the pitch. That'll be down and away. And again, a good stop behind the plate there by Pohl. Keeping that ball in front of him, which is paramount with a runner at third base. So runners at first and third now. Two away in the inning and a run in. Babbitt trying to keep the damage to a minimum here. And a heater. Strike called on the outside edge. And that makes it 3-1. Real well-placed pitch there by Babbitt. Babbitt, 28 pitches coming into this at-bat in his outing. And the pitch. Fastball. Strike called on the inner half. Throw to second, and now he'll throw back to the plate as St. Xavier trying to score on a delayed double steal, and the throw back to the plate not in time. Great slide there. And it gets a second run for St. Xavier on the board. So Darren Zerillo scores. It is now a 2-0 St. Xavier lead as Barrios able to take second base. The Hauscher at bat continues. 2-0 St. X. That throw going down to second base, and immediately then the runner at third can break for the plate. And this time it was successful. All right. Babbitt comes set now, and the pitch. Swung on, one hopper back to Babbitt. Runs halfway, more than halfway to the bag at first, underhands it, and that'll end the inning. But St. Xavier on the board first here in this championship round opening ball game. They pick up 2 runs in the inning. 2 runs on 3 hits, and a runner left on base. And after 4, it is St. Xavier 2 and Indiana South Bend nothing. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. We move to the top half of inning number 5 in this championship round opening ball game between St. Xavier and Indiana South Bend. St. Xavier with a 2 spot in the last half inning. And now Brett Sikorsky to lead it off here for Indiana South Bend, and the first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 to Sikorsky, who is 0 for 1 in the game. Grounded out unassisted to first base his first time up. And the pitch. And that looks like it came down and in. Logan McCleary remains on the mound here for St. Xavier. He has struck out 1 and walked none in 4 innings of work thus far. As the next offering, over but a little bit low. And it's now a 2-1 count here to Sikorsky. Sikorsky, Benson, and Smith threw up for Indiana South Bend. Here's the wind and the 2-1. And Sikorsky going after that one and fouling it away. And now the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we're in the top half of inning number 5. St. Xavier now 2 runs, 4 hits. And Indiana South Bend, no runs on 2 hits, no errors for either team in the game. All right, McCleary into the wind and the pitch. Up and away. And that will make it a full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Righty versus lefty. And the delivery. Swung on and it popped up right side, short right field, drifting back into his left underneath it, and the catch made by Hayes, the second baseman, for out number 1. 1 away for Owen Benson. Well, Logan McCleary ran into a little bit of difficulty back in the 4th inning, but when you go back to late in the first game today for St. Xavier, when Heath Mann came in and retired the first 8 batters that he faces, the first pitch will miss inside 1-0 as Benson squared the bat to bunt but pulled it back, and he's ahead in the count. Logan Heath was outstanding in relief for St. Xavier at the latter part of the earlier game, swinging a fly ball, fairly deep left field, moving back toward the track. And on the run there, Dowling able to reach up and make the grab just below the scoreboard in left field, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring to the plate Devin Smith. So again, dating back, Heath Mann great in relief for St. Xavier in game 1, and now a pretty good outing so far here for Logan McCleary. He has the next pitch, first pitch here. That'll miss outside, 1 ball, no strikes to Devin Smith, who was 1 for 3. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. Top of the 5th inning, 2-0 St. Xavier. And the pitch. Swung on and hit to the right side, but foul. And so the count even now at a ball and a strike. Josiah Nelson would be next if the inning continues for the Titans. Here comes the 1-1 offering. Breaking ball missing upstairs. St. Xavier trying to add 1 more game to our schedule. 2 balls and a strike. And the pitch. In for a called strike on the outer half to even it up, 2-2 now. Smith, left-handed batter, stands in. McCleary trying to set down Indiana South Bend in order for the 4th time this afternoon. The pitch came up and in, and Smith started to swing and wisely held up. And so that'll run the count full now, 3 balls and 2 strikes. McCleary upright on the rubber. And the payoff. Pulled foul to the right side. We'll try it again. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on base. Here in the top of the 5th inning. And the pitch. And that'll be a called 3rd strike on the inside corner. And that will end the inning. Wasn't sure right away the result of that pitch. I think Smith thought he had a walk, but the umpire says otherwise, and this inning comes to an end. And in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We are halfway through this championship round opening game. The score, St. Xavier 2 and Indiana South Bend 0. And you're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning here at Dooley Health and Care Field in Joliet, Illinois. And it'll be Colin Wolf leading it up now for St. Xavier in the bottom of the 5th inning. Alex Babbitt starting his 3rd inning of work in relief of Peyton Carney. As we head to the bottom of the 5th inning, St. Xavier a 2-0 lead. And the first pitch of this half inning, there's a swing and a miss. 0-1 to Colin Wolf, who's 0-for-1 with a swinging strikeout back in the 3rd inning. All right, Babbitt working out of the stretch all of the time, as many pitchers do these days. And he misses there to make the count 1-1 strike. Babbitt comes set now, and the kick and the delivery. And that'll be sprayed foul to the right side. Kind of a golf swing there by Colin Wolf, and the count goes to 1-2 strikes. One and two. And the pitch. Swung on, lifted in the air. Right field has some carry to it, back to the track, to the fence, but the ballpark holds it, and Cole Miller able to haul it in front of the fence. Not far from the 327 mark down the right field line, and that's the first out of the inning. Indiana South Bend not wanting to fall behind any further here. As one away back to the top of the St. Xavier order, and here is Kevin Dowling. Dowling is grounded out to short and grounded out to second base. Here's the set by Babbitt and the pitch. And a strike on the inner half. No balls and a strike here. Babbitt stands in. And the pitch. And that ball is going to wind up to be, that pitch will wind up to be a strike, as Dowling tried to bunt the ball and did not pull back, and he missed it altogether. So he's behind at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss at the ball down in the zone. Went down into the turf there around home plate and recovered here by Pohl, who throws to first for the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Patrick Hayes. Right now, Babbitt doing a good job of keeping his team close as Indiana South Bend trailing it by a score of 2-0 in the ball game. Hayes is 1 for 2, a double and a pop out. First pitch here, and Hayes takes it and misses outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Evan Orzik would be next if the inning continues. And the pitch. This is hit well, and a line drive into left field for a base hit. Hayes, that pitch came inside on him, but he got around on it and was able to serve it into left for the 2-out base hit. So Hayes aboard here, and here is Evan Orzik. As we play here in Joliet. A little bit of a delay. I believe Orzik, who's the catcher, may have had some of his catcher's gear on and had to discard that before he comes to the plate, obviously. Orzik is 0 for 2. He's lined out and struck out. And here's the set now by Babbitt. And the pitch. Swung on, and a little soft liner that'll get by Devin Smith at second base. It'll move into right center field, and it'll be a first and third situation here for St. Xavier now, as they are trying to put together a 2-out rally on back-to-back hits by Hayes and now Evan Orzik. And we should have a pinch runner coming into the game now. For St. Xavier, we do. Not able to see the number on the jersey. As coming up to the plate now will be Declan Smith. So runners at first and third here. And it'll be Declan Smythe coming up now. Smythe is 1 for 2. A ground out, a single, and a run scored. First pitch here. And that'll be a nice breaking ball by Babbitt in for a called strike to make it 0-1. Runners at first and third. 0-1 the count, 2 down in the inning, so 2 on and 2 out. Babbitt comes set now. And the pitch. Started a swing, held up as the pitch was down low to make it a ball and a strike. Darren Zerillo would be next if the inning continues. Alex Babbitt got through the first two batters okay, but now running into a little bit of a difficulty here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Babbitt trying to get this last out and keep the game a 2-run contest. Here's the 1-1. Over but low. Good stop behind the plate there again by Pohl. And so now 2 balls and a strike for Declan Smythe. Babbitt looks down now. Toes the right edge of the pitcher's rubber there on the extreme first base side. Comes set, the 2-1. And that'll be low and away, 3-1 the count. And Babbitt right now in danger of loading the bases for St. Xavier. Bottom of the 5th, St. Xavier the lead by a score of 2-0. The set by Babbitt now, and the pitch. Check swing, and it wound up being popped into the air to the front part of the mound. Babbitt will take control there, makes the catch to end the inning. Second pop out to the pitcher that I've seen in the tournament. And that brings that inning to an end. And kind of an important out there, I think, for Indiana South Bend. No runs in the inning for St. Xavier. No runs on a pair of hits, no errors, 2 left on base. And we go to the 6th inning, and it stays St. Xavier 2, Indiana South Bend nothing. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. Top of the 6th inning. 9-1-2 in the Titan order to up now here for Indiana South Bend. And the first pitch coming into to Josiah Nelson will miss up and in, 1 ball and no strikes. Nelson, Pohl, and Logan Smith do up here for the Titans. And the pitch. Down and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Logan McCleary so far, 5 innings of shutout ball here. And the next delivery will catch the outer half of the plate for the called strike, and now it's 2-1. McCleary upright, working out of a compact windup, kicks and deals. And that'll be a heater up high for ball 3, 3-1 here. This Indiana South Bend offense, they can erupt at any time. Always a challenge keeping the Titans off the board. There's a called strike on the outer half. And so now it is 3-2. Full count to the 6th inning leadoff hitter for the Titans. Swinging a ball lined into right field for a base hit. Good piece of hitting there by Josiah Nelson. Just served it to right field, taking what the pitcher gave him. Nelson now 1 for 2 this afternoon, and that will bring to the plate Anthony Pohl as we recycle back to the top of the order. Pohl is 1 for 2 here in this game. Pop to first, and a single. And the first pitch to him. And it'll be over, but a little bit low, might have been a little bit inside as well, and the count goes to 1 ball and no strikes. Pohl, right-handed batter, stands in. Throw to first base and the runner back in. One to Anthony Pohl, who represents the tying run for Indiana South Bend. The Titans trailing the Cougars 2-0 in this game. The set and the pitch, curve in for a called strike. And we're even now at 1-1. We are not even in the game. 2-0 St. Xavier the lead. Short lead there by Nelson at first base. Throw back to first base again, and back to the base goes Josiah Nelson. All right, McCleary now. Comes set. And the delivery. That'll be a topper rolling out to the left side of the infield. McCleary off the mound quickly. Good play there as he quickly fields, throws to first base for the out. That could have been a little bit of trouble there, but it winds up to be a put out as on the play, Josiah Nelson advances to second base. Almost like a sacrifice, though not scored as such. One away in the inning for Logan Smith. Smith has a strikeout and also a fielder's choice. Right-handed batter awaits. McCleary, the right-handed pitcher on the mound. Kicks and fires. Look out. Smith headed to duck out of the way of that one, and the count goes to 1-0. That's happened a couple of times here today. We've had one pitch behind a batter, unintentionally, of course. One ball, no strikes. You know, at times a pitcher can get what they call effectively wild if he misses the zone enough. Here's the 1-0. That'll be upstairs. And so 2 balls and no strikes. Always liked that phrase. Always liked it. Effectively wild, meaning you're out of the zone enough where you kind of keep the hitter guessing as to where the ball might go. There's a swing and a ball drilled into center field. Will it stay up? And it will not. And trying to make the sliding play to knock it down, Colin Wolf in center. It caroms away from him. Here's the runner rounding third base. And as Indiana South Bend is on the board, as the St. Xavier lead is now sliced in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game. Josiah Nelson scoring from second on the play. Logan Smith the single. We'll see if there's any kind of error charged on that play as Colin Wolf came on trying to make a sliding play. I would not think, there won't be an error there because Wolf was coming on, tried to slide just to keep it in front of him, and it skipped away. And as well, Logan Smith not able to advance anyway. Swinging a line drive that'll curl into right center field for a base hit here from Brendan Bell. And Wolf up with it, throws it back to the infield, and now runners are at first and third, and here come the Titans. So the tandem of Smith and Bell coming through there for Indiana South Bend, and Caleb Farnham now due up. The St. Xavier bullpen is in action. And even though Indiana South Bend, obviously, they want to win this game and end the tournament right here, they at least have a little margin for error. Not the case for St. Xavier. This is a win or go home game. And we'll have a new pitcher coming in for the Cougars. So we'll take a break, tell you about the new man on the mound after we take a timeout. St. Xavier leading 2-1, but Indiana South Bend threatening to tie with a runner at third. And we'll take a break and come back. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Heath Mann coming on the pitch now for St. Xavier, trying to preserve the lead for his team. As Indiana South Bend on the board here today, making it in this inning a 2-1 ball game. And as we said, Heath Mann, this is his second appearance today, and he was outstanding in the game against Roosevelt, going 3 2/3 innings. And zeros across the board except for one other category, as he had 3 strikeouts in that outing. He was outstanding. At one point retired 8 straight. He will first face Caleb Farnham as some sunlight now filtering through here for the first time in a long while. Had a little bit of that in game 1, but it was for about maybe 5 minutes and probably less than that. First pitch to Farnham in for a called strike. 0-1. And Mann, I would guess, would have a lot of gas in the tank here. Had not seen him yet in the tournament before the outing this morning, although I've done not all of the games here with the dual venues situation. On Friday, there's a swing and a miss, and the count now 0-2 to Caleb Farnham. Farnham is lined out and hit into a fielder's choice. Runners at first and third, 1 away, tying run 90 feet away for the Titans. Here's the pitch. High and away, and that makes it now a ball and 2 strikes. This is kind of old-fashioned baseball here. Postseason weekday afternoon game. I remember those games. Anybody older than I'd say 40, I'd say 50, which I am, unfortunately. Swinging a fly ball into center field. And will it stay up there? Coming on, Wolf makes the grab. Runner from third tagging up. Throw to the plate, offline. Up the first base side, and the game is tied at 2. As Farnham hit that ball on the nose and gets the job done with a sacrifice fly. As Logan Smith scores, and it's a 2-2 game. That's the second out of the inning, and we have a brand new ball game, and that'll bring to the plate Cole Miller. Miller 0 for 2, fly to center field and grounded back to the pitcher. Yeah, I was just remember back in the days of my youth, the weekday afternoon World Series games, weekday afternoon playoff games. Here's the set now and the pitch. And that'll be a strike over the outer half, and it's 0-1. So we're tied at 2 here. There's a swing and a pop foul right side out of play. And it's now 0-2 to Cole Miller. Yeah, I remember a lot of times people would be at work. It's like the NCAA tournament the first couple of days now, with all of those games on Thursday and Friday being played on a weekday afternoon. To be honest, I think it's kind of cool. Here's the next pitch. And that'll miss high and away, 1-2. Although when I was young, didn't necessarily think that as I was in school, and would hope that I could get out in time to come home and maybe see the end of the ball games. Here comes the set of the 1-2. And that'll be in there, called strike 3. Great pitch there by Mann as this inning comes to an end. But we have a new ball game, as in the inning for Indiana South Bend, 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a pair left on base. Go-ahead run left stranded at third, as I have to correct myself, just 1 left on base as the inning comes to an end. And runner left at first base, that was Brendan Bell. Anyway, we go bottom of the 6th inning. And as we said, we have a new ball game here, as it is Indiana South Bend 2 and St. Xavier 2. And you're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. On we go to the bottom of half of the 6th inning. And we have a new ball game. We are tied at 2 after the 2 runs in the top of the inning for Indiana South Bend. And now St. Xavier will try to retake the lead. It'll be Darren Zerillo to lead it up now for the Cougars. As Alex Babbitt starting his 4th inning of work. And we talked about Heath Mann for St. Xavier being great, and that's been the case for Babbitt as well. And the first pitch in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Babbitt in 3 innings of work, 4 strikeouts. He has allowed 2 earned runs. There's a wave and a miss. And now 0-2 to Darren Zerillo, who's been hit by a pitch. Also has a double and a run scored. Bottom of the 6th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Here comes the set now. And the pitch. Up and in to make it a ball on 2 strikes. If St. Xavier wins, we'll be back here tomorrow night for the championship game. If Indiana South Bend wins, that'll close it out. There's a curve up and in. And now the at-bat will continue here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. St. Xavier's out hit Indiana South Bend 6-5 in this game. No errors have yet been committed in this contest. And there is a called 3rd strike on the outer half. Good breaking ball there from Babbitt. And he gets Zerillo looking for the first out of the inning. Well, this is a case here where it's a classic shutdown inning scenario as Sam Ryan will come to the plate. If you're a pitcher on the mound, and your team does as Indiana South Bend did in the last half inning, get your team back even. You have the momentum on your side, and you can keep it there with a quick inning. After the game either gets tied or you take the lead. There's a called strike, no balls and a strike to Sam Ryan. Do not give the opposition momentum back after you've gotten some momentum swinging your way. 0-1 now to Ryan in the pitch. And that's kind of golfed into the air. Left center field coming on, diving forward, and that ball will get by the center fielder Benson, but well backed up in left field there as Josiah Nelson came over and backed him up as the ball got by Benson. But even so, Ryan has to stay at first base, settling for a single. And that's how you should do the defensive work there. Really good play in left field by Nelson. Getting over and backing up the play after a good effort trying to get to that ball on the fly by Benson in center field. So 1-on-1 out for Daniel Barrios now. Left-handed batter waits in the first pitch, goes after that, pops it up left side, foul territory, and that'll be out of play. And so the count 0-1 here to Daniel Barrios, who is 1 for 2. A ground down and an RBI single here this afternoon. Bottom of the 6th inning, tense ball game, 2-2 tie in this championship round opening game. Barrios back into the batter's box. Babbitt comes set of the pitch. Hit to the right side, and that will get into right field for a base hit. It stayed on the ground all the way. And so Ryan aboard at second base as Barrios gets his 2nd hit of the day. And St. Xavier now with a go-ahead run aboard at second base in scoring position. And now Trevor Hauscher due up. Hauscher 0 for 2, caught looking and grounding back to the pitcher. The 2 results of his 2 at-bats. So Hauscher, the right-handed batter, stands in. 2 on, 1 away in the inning. Here's Alex Babbitt, who could certainly use a double play here. The first pitch. Check swing, and he went around, and it's 0-1. Home plate umpire made that call. No need for an appeal. That was clearly a swing. And so Hauscher behind at 0-1. And on the play as well, Pull behind the plate doing a good job of keeping the ball in front of him. And so the runner's not able to advance. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the set now by Alex Babbitt. And the pitch. And this is hit to the left side. Knocked down there at shortstop by Sikorsky. Only play to third. And on one hop, he throws it to third base. And he gets the lead runner. What a play there by Brett Sikorsky. He dove to his right to smother it. His only chance was to third, and he got the runner. So Ryan forced on a really good play there defensively. Hauscher aboard on the fielder's choice. 6-5 on the scoring. There are now 2 down in the inning. Daniel Barrios to second. Colin Wolfe now due up. And now it looks like Aaron Orzek, I believe, will pinch hit here. He did pinch hit in the first game today. And I'll confirm that. Yep. Aaron Orzek will bat here. Right-handed batter stands in. 2 on, 2 out. Bottom of 6 in a 2-2 game. And the first pitch. Swing and a miss of the ball down low in the zone. And again, Pohl able to keep the ball in front of him. 0-1 now to Aaron Orzek. Orzek did pinch hit in the first game today against Roosevelt, and he was retired. No balls, 1 strike. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Some heat there, and Orzek swinging through it. And it looked like that ball had movement on it as well. And so now 2 strikes here on Aaron Orzek. Alex Babbitt trying to strand 2 runners on base for St. Xavier. Here's the set now. And the 0-2 pitch. Up high for a ball to make it 1-2. Orzek wisely laying off that pitch. I could see where you could go after that. Get a little over anxious. And really, with a pitch like that, there's not much you can do with it. You'll likely either swing and miss or pop it up. Here's the set now. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. A little fist pump there from Alex Babbitt as he comes off the mound. And St. Xavier leads 2 on base, 1 of them in scoring position. Which actually is pretty obvious. If you have 2 runners on, at least 1 needs to be in scoring position. Anyway, in the inning for St. Xavier, they threaten but do not score. No runs in the inning on 2 hits, no errors, and a pair left on base. And Babbitt, though having to work hard, gets his shutdown inning. We are through 6 in this championship round game. The score, Indiana South Bend 2, St. Xavier 2. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. We go to the top of the 7th inning in a 2-2 ball game. This is a fun one to call. A lot on the line. And it'll be Sikorsky, Benson, and Devin Smith due up here for Indiana South Bend. So Brett Sikorsky stands in. He is 0 for 2 thus far in this game. Heath Mann continues on, and now it's a battle of the bullpens here in this championship round game. Mann kicks and deals. And the first pitch in for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Sikorsky has grounded out and popped out. Popped out to second base last time up. 2-2 game, top of the 7th inning. And the pitch. And that misses outside. So now a ball and a strike. And I'm always in admiration of how the players, my athletic career has been minimal at best. The next pitch coming in, down and in. 2-1. And even in my limited endeavors, pressure situations were not my forte. Here comes the set of the 2-1. And it is hit on the ground just to the right edge of the mound. glove there at second base, and then a throw to first up the line, but a good reach there by Hauscher at first as the throw by Hayes a little bit offline, but they get the out anyway, and there's one away in the inning. So just saying that, as one who didn't encounter many professional or many situations in a limited athletic career, and still again, never performed well. I've missed a lot of three-foot putts in my day, as here is Owen Benson, and I'm always admiring how the athletes can be able to perform. As there's a strike and it's 0-1 now to Benson, how they can perform under these almost all or nothing pressure situations. Here's the 0-1, low and away, and the count even at 1-1. And part of the game is if you're even out there at any place on the field, you're at risk for making a mistake at the worst time for everybody to see. That's part of the deal as well. Here's the 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody on, 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swinging a foul ball back into the screen, and it's now 2-2. I think the most nervous I've ever been, I think, may have been when I was watching a nephew of mine play in a state tournament game here in Illinois. It was a close game like this one. There's a ball low and away, 3-2. And he was playing third base at the time. And again, close game, late innings, and I was just really nervous that a ball might get hit to him and he might fumble it or something like that. I can understand now how parents can also feel a lot of his anxiety. There's a swing and a foul back. Parents and relatives, it's, I think, a lot easier actually on the players than it is for those watching the game. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Curveball, and that'll be in there for a called third strike, and that's the second out of the inning. Beautiful pitch there by Heath Mann, 2 away for Devin Smith. Smith is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and then called out on strikes as well back in inning number 5. We're in the top of the 7th here in a 2-2 game. Heath Mann into the wind of the pitch, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. And Mann, is a perfect example here. He's pitched great today in 2 extraordinarily high-leverage situations with his team seasons on the line on both occasions. Swinging a foul off to the left out of play. 0-2. I think that's when really the ability to handle difficult situations, and some are able to do that better than others. That's the situation there where it really becomes evident. Here's the set now by Heath Mann. And the 0-2. And just off the outside edge to make it a ball and 2 strikes. I've always thought the most pressurized situation in sports would be a goalie in a Game 7 overtime situation in the NHL or in any hockey situation where that prevails. There's a swing and a ball into the air. Dropping quickly, left center field, long run here, and diving forward is going to be Colin Wolfe, and he holds the ball off, and as he slides to one knee as he makes a fine grab to end the inning. So in the inning for Indiana South Bend, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Stretch time here in Joliet. We go bottom 7, tied at 2. And this is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Here we go now to the bottom of the 7th inning in a 2-2 game. Alex Babbitt, who's also had an exceptional outing and a great tournament in relief here for Indiana South Bend, back to work here on the mound as the top of the order coming up here now for St. Xavier. So Kevin Dowling to lead it off, and the first pitch is in for a called strike. And so it's 0-1 for Dowling. Dowling, Hayes, and Evan Orzik due up here for St. Xavier. St. Xavier, a must-win game. Swinging a sharply hit ball into left field for a base hit. So that's the way the inning starts. Is Dowling, his first hit of the day in 4 trips to the plate. And the go-ahead run aboard here for St. Xavier. And Patrick Hayes now will stand in. Hayes has had a good day here in this game. 2 for 3. A double, a single, and a pop out. And not in that order. Had a double in the first, a pop out in the third, and then the single last time up. Throw to first and the runner back in. And it's easy to understand here now why a pitcher might be able to keep a real close eye, might have to keep a real close eye on the runner at first base. Throw to first base, short hopping in, and a good backhand pick there on the play by Brendan Bell. If you're on the mound, you do not want that go-ahead run to get into scoring position. Babbitt looks in for the sign now, and the pitch to Hayes. That's bunted right side, and that'll curl foul about maybe 15 feet up the line, and it's a strike to Hayes. Hayes looks down for the signs from the third base coach's box. That would always be real tough for me hitting. I'd be really worried that I will miss a sign. Here's an attempt to bunt, lays it down. Well done here up the first base line. Fielded by Babbitt, throws to first a little bit high, but it's reeled in at the bag at first. A successful sacrifice, and Kevin Dowling goes to second. And so the go-ahead run in scoring position here for St. Xavier. That was a great bunt there. So now Evan Orzik due up and a chance to knock in the go-ahead run. Orzik is 1 for 3, singled last time up, also has lined down and struck out. Alex Babbitt comes set, and the pitch. And that'll be down and in, 1 ball, no strikes to Evan Orzik. Orzik out of the box. And now back in. 1 ball, no strikes. 1 on, 1 out in a 2-2 game in the bottom of the 7th inning. Here's the set now by Babbitt. And the pitch. And that'll miss. A little bit low. And it goes to 2-0. And a precarious situation here now for Alex Babbitt. He has got to walk a real fine line here. He's got a runner in scoring position, the go-ahead runner. So I don't think he wants to groove one here, but he needs a strike. Here's the delivery. And he came in with what looked like an off-speed pitch, and it caught part of the zone to make it 2-1 on the called strike. Orzik taking all the way there. 2 balls, 1 strike. Babbitt looks in. Long pause, and now a look back at second base, but no throw. We had it in the first game, a similar situation, and I was trying to track down a stat on my computer, looked up, and it was a Roosevelt pitcher. I think it was Noah Mathias, the Roosevelt starter. Looked back, and I thought he'd thrown to second, but I'm never going to know. I'll go back and look at the replay probably, but I still don't know that it actually occurred. There's a fastball high and away. 3-1 now to Evan Orzik. Well, the walk here would put an extra runner on base and give the Cougars a chance not only to go ahead, but maybe add to that advantage if they're able to move in front. Here's the set now. And the 3-1 pitch. And that'll be low ball 4. And so now 2 aboard here with 1 away for St. Xavier in the 7th inning. So Orzik aboard. Pinch runner will come in right away. And I think this will be Campbell again in pinch running now. Actually, that can't be right because Kobe Campbell is on the other team. But anyway, here's Declan Smythe now to bat. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. Smythe is 1 for 3. Popped out to the pitcher last time up. That ended a threat for St. Xavier back in the 5th inning. This is Sean Hadlessy running now. He's at first base. Dowling at second. Here's the set of the pitch. It's golfed to the shortstop. In the hole. Fielded by Sikorsky. Fought away throw, and they get the runner at second base. Hadlessy is forced out at second. On a nice play there at shortstop by Brett Sikorsky. That'll be the second out of the inning. Kevin Dowling to third. The go-ahead run now 90 feet away. And Declan Smythe aboard at first on the fielder's choice. So 2 away, and here's Darren Zerillo now. And he has a chance to deliver and put St. Xavier back in the lead. Zerillo has been hit by a pitch, doubled, and called out on strikes. First pitch to him. And he takes a letter high, called strike, and it's 0-1. And Alex Babbitt, speaking of walking on a tightrope, trying to get out of a little mini jam here and keep the ball game tied. Here comes the set now. Throw to first base and the runner back in. We play in the bottom of the 7th inning in a 2-2 ball game. Alex Babbitt looks in. Here's the kick and the pitch. Jammed him, and it goes inside out the other way, and it'll be flagged down there in short right field, and then the throw to first base pulls the first baseman, Brendan Bell, off the bag, and it will be a run here for St. Xavier. Devin Smith did a great job there to get to that ball and flag it down in short right field. But he could not make the play as the runner is safe at first as the throw pulled the first baseman Bell off the bag, and St. Xavier takes the lead. But now let's see here. The umpires will confer. So the umpires will confer here. And safe will be the call. So Dowling comes in to score, and St. Xavier takes the lead 3-2. So Zerillo aboard, gets the run in, and now here's Sam Ryan. And here's the set now by Alex Babbitt. And the pitch. Started to swing, held up, and no, he did not. Home plate umpire says he went around, and so Ryan is behind it. No balls and a strike. Ryan has singled, struck out, and hit into a fielder's choice. 3-2, St. Xavier the lead. Here comes the set. And the pitch. Swung on and bounced to the left side. Coming on there and making the play in an unassisted out here, recorded by Logan Smith at third as he ran down the runner between second and third, and that'll end the inning as Smith tags out Declan Smythe, and that ends the inning. But St. Xavier able to pull in front here as they pick up a run in the frame as they cash in the leadoff single. As in the inning, 1 run for St. Xavier on the 1 hit nowheres, and 2 left on base. And after 7 completed, St. Xavier 3, Indiana South Bend 2. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. So we go to the top of the 8th inning in a great ball game here. St. Xavier now able to push across a run in the bottom of the 7th, and they take a 3-2 lead. They've out-hit Indiana South Bend 10-5, but a 1-run game, and Josiah Nelson leading it off now for the Titans against Heath Mann, who remains on the mound in relief for St. Xavier. First pitch here, and a swing and a miss as Nelson wanted to hold up, could not do so, and so he's behind at 0-1. 9-1-2 in the Titan order to up. Nelson stands in, 1 for 2 in this game. And the pitch. Swung on, popped up right side, that'll be out of play. And the count goes down to no balls and 2 strikes. Anthony Pohl next, and then Logan Smith here for Indiana South Bend. Heath Mann trying to keep his team in front and send his team to the ultimate game in this tournament. The deciding game would be played tomorrow night at 7. There's a pitch that'll miss just barely outside, 1-2 now. That was not a pitch where you try to get the batter to chase. I think Mann wanted to hit the corner there and very well nearly did. There's a swing and a miss at a ball that came inside. Oh, that was a great setup pitch on the previous offering. That turns out to be a strikeout for Nelson. So even though Mann missed on the previous pitch, and I don't think he was trying to get the batter to chase, it still set him up. It set up Nelson as the pitch came inside, and Nelson not able to do anything with it. Now here's Anthony Pohl. And the first pitch, swing and a miss, and the ball down and away, and it's going to be 0-1 here to Pohl. Pohl is 1 for 3. He grounded out 1-3 back in the 6th inning. 3-2 ball game, top of the 8th. And the pitch. Started to swing, held up, appeal to the infield umpire. And I think they say he went around. Yep, it is now 0-2 to Anthony Pohl. Pohl stands in. Stands angled to the right side of the diamond. The 0-2. Swinging a foul back. And will hold it, no balls and 2 strikes. No balls, 2 strikes the count. 1 out, nobody on base here in the 8th inning. And the pitch. And a swing and a pop-up. Right side near the bag at first, and underneath it there is Trevor Hauscher, and he makes the catch for out number 2. That did not look like a full follow-through there by Pohl on the swing. He made contact and hit a weak pop-out for the 2nd out of the inning. And now here's Logan Smith. Smith 1 for 3, singled his last time up, and then later came around to score. He bats here with 2 out and nobody on base. The pitch from Heath Mann. Curve in there for a called strike, and it's 0-1. As he was in the first game today against Roosevelt, Heath Mann has been absolutely fantastic on the mound in relief. Here's the 0-1. Over but low to even it up now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mann so far has gone 2 1/3. Struck out 3, has not yet walked a batter. Here's the 1-1. Upstairs, 2 balls and a strike now. Brendan Bell would be next if the inning continues. Here's the set. And the pitch. Started to swing, held up, but the pitch caught the zone anyway. So now 2 balls, 2 strikes. The St. Xavier bench and crowd starting to make noise, anticipating a possible end of the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and that'll end the inning. And Heathman continues to roll along here. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. We go bottom 8. It's St. Xavier 3, Indiana South Bend 2. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning, and now sunshine prevailing here. I think the crowd is happy about that as we go bottom 8. 3-2 St. Xavier the lead in this championship round opening ball game, and the first pitch here from Alex Babbitt is going to be down low, 1 ball and no strikes to Daniel Barrios. Bottom 3rd of the order coming up for St. Xavier. Here's the set now, and the pitch. Misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Barrios, Hauscher, and Colin Wolf due up here for St. X. St. Xavier trying to sweep 2 games here today and send us to an all-or-nothing championship game tomorrow. Swinging a fly ball. Short right field coming on, an attempted sliding grab here, and not able to come up with it in right field is Cole Miller. And now heads up base running here as Barrios does not hesitate, and he winds up sliding into second with a double. So an insurance run now in scoring position for St. Xavier. And now Trevor Hauscher due up. There is action in the Indiana South Bend bullpen as Hauscher to stand in. Hauscher hit into a fielder's choice last time up, also a struck out and grounded out back to the pitcher. So he is in search of his first hit here today. If he gets one, it could be an important one. He has a chance to drive in a run. First pitch, a fastball upstairs, and it's 1-0. One ball, no strikes the count. Here's the set by Alex Babbitt. And the delivery. That'll be over but low, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. Barrios takes his lead off second base. All important here for South Bend to keep the game at 1 run. The 2-0. Fastball strike, letter high. And that makes it 2-1. To be honest, I thought that was going to be ball 3. But the umpire not agreeing. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Here is the set by Alex Babbitt. And the pitch. Swung on, little pop-up back behind home plate, and a dive here, but not successful for the catcher, Pohl, who did a great job there. Maximum effort, full extension, but just not able to get to it. Not enough air under it. So 2-1 now to Trevor Hauscher, the number 8 hitter in the St. Xavier order. Runner aboard at second. Nobody out in the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count here to Hauscher. Here's the set now. And the pitch. Swung on and ripped foul right side, and will be again in a 2-2 situation. Babbitt back on the rubber. Comes set. And the pitch. Lifted into the air. Left center field. Moving over to his right underneath it there is Owen Benson. Makes the catch. Running from second, tagging up, going to third base. Heads up base running there by Daniel Barrios to take the base and get into scoring position. He was already in scoring position, but now move up 90 feet away with 1 out in the inning. So 2 chances to drive in an insurance run now for St. Xavier, as Colin Wolf due up here. Wolf is 0 for 2 in this game. Fly to right his last time up. He was pinch hit for by Aaron Orzak, who struck out last time this spot in the order came around. First pitch here. There's a bunt, little safety squeeze. Here comes the throw to first base as they can't get the runner, and everybody winds up to be safe. Perfectly executed, and St. Xavier adds an insurance run. That is a beautiful baseball play there. Barrios scores. Wolf, the bunt hit for the RBI. And it's now a 4-2 lead for St. Xavier, and that might be it here for Alex Babbitt. That's neat to see, just as a baseball fan. Well executed. No defense for that. The only play was for the throw to be at first base, and that turned out to be offline. Meeting at the mound here. Let's see if Alex Babbitt stays in. So St. Xavier now 3 outs away from adding a game to the schedule tomorrow night. Looks like Babbitt will stay in. And no, he will not. He gets a great hand. He's been very good in relief. And so we'll have a new pitcher, and we'll tell you about it after we take a break. Bottom of 8, 4-2 St. Xavier. This is CCAC Tournament Baseball. Jack Kinsel now in the game on the mound for St. Xavier. And the first batter he is to face will be the leadoff hitter in the St. X order, Kevin Dowling, who goes after the first pitch and came up empty. So Dowling behind at 0-1. Kinsel, the right-hander, has made now at least 2 appearances in the tournament. Here's the set now. And the 0-1. Popping into the catcher's mitt there for the called strike on the outer half. So now no balls and 2 strikes. Kinsel, a 2-1 record with a 3.7 ERA. Those are season-long stats. There's a swing and a bouncer to the left side. Charging on the infield. Gloving there at third base is Logan Smith. Throws to first for the out. So that'll be 2 away. As on the play, the runner able to advance to second base. And that will bring to the plate Patrick Hayes. Kinsel comes set here. And the delivery. Low and away, and it's 1 ball and no strikes. Hayes, a sacrifice last time up, also has a double, a single, and a ground out. So he's had a pretty good game by any stretch. Here comes the set now. And the pitch. Swung on, and pop foul right side out of play. So now it's 1-1. Should this score holds up, we'll be back with you tomorrow night, 7 p.m. for the final game of this tournament. It would be the if necessary game, game number 15. And the pitch. Fastball upstairs. 2 balls and a strike. Evan Orzek would be next if the inning continues. Bottom of 8. A run in here for St. Xavier after Indiana South Bend had tied the game at 2. St. X with a run in the 7th and now 1 more here in the 8th. And they're looking for more as they lead it 4-2. And the pitch. Over but a little bit low. So now 3-1 the count. Here's the set of the pitch. And that'll be just off the outside edge. I thought for a minute it would be a delayed called strike, but that did not happen. And the inning continues as Patrick Hayes walks. And now here comes Evan Orzek. If we do play tomorrow night, I believe it would be the first rematch of the tournament. Usually by this time you've had teams maybe meet up for a second time. See if that's happened yet. Anyway, here's Evan Orzek. And the first pitch. And that'll be in for a called strike to the St. Xavier catcher, and he's behind at 0-1. Orzek walked last time up. He has reached twice in 4 plate appearances this afternoon. 4-2 ball game. Bottom of the 8th inning. Here's the set now and the delivery. And that'll be over but a little bit low. Evens the count now. Correction, it makes the count. No, it does even the count at 1-1. Had it right the first time. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball missed outside. And now it's 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. On a chilly day in May. Here's the set now and the delivery. And this will be lifted high in the air. Short right center field. Center and right fielders both converging on it. And calling for it there will be Owen Benson to end the inning. But St. Xavier able to get an extra run to add to their lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As in the inning, for St. Xavier, they pick up a run on 2 hits, no errors, and a couple left on base. We go to the top of the 9th inning, and Indiana South Bend needs 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead. It's a 4-2 St. Xavier lead. You're tuned to CCAC Tournament Baseball. Here we go to the top of the 9th inning now. And it'll be Brendan Bell to start it off for Indiana South Bend. The Titans trail it by 2 here, heading to the top of the 9th inning. And Heath Mann trying to finish it off here for the St. Xavier Cougars, and he deals here first pitch low and outside, 1 ball and no strikes. Bell, Farnham, and Miller do up here for the Titans. 4-2 ball game, top of the 9th inning, St. X with a lead. Here's the 1-0. And a swing and a miss. That ball a little down in the zone, and Brendan Bell went after it and came up empty, so it is now 1-1 to the Indiana South Bend first baseman. 1 ball, 1 strike the count and the pitch. Missing outside, and that runs it now to 2-1. Titans need at least 1 base runner to bring the tying run to the plate. Heath Mann has been great in 2 2/3 innings. He has struck out 4 and not yet walked a batter. The 2-1. And that'll be sent to the right side on a foul ball. And we're even at 2-2. The St. X bullpen is starting to get busy, just in case Mann gets into trouble. Mann, the right-hander, comes set now. And the pitch. Swing and a miss at a ball down low, and strike 3, and that'll be the first out of the inning. Great execution on the pitch there by Heath Mann. Got Brendan Bell to chase, and there's 1 down in the frame. And now that'll bring to the plate Caleb Farnham. Well, if St. Xavier wins this game, they'll have won 4 straight, and the pitch. Pop back out of play, and it's 0-1. St. Xavier won the tournament opener on Thursday, 3-2 in come-from-behind fashion against Olivet Nazarene. They won that game with a dramatic run in the bottom of the 9th inning. There's a swing and a line drive, 1 hopper, and tracking it down there in short right field and falling to the ground there on the play is Hayes, but he throws to first, and that'll be in time for the out on a tremendous play by Hayes at second base. And that'll be out number 2, and St. Xavier 1 out away from forcing a game 2 in this championship round. Spectacular play there. And now that'll leave it up to Cole Miller. Miller is 0 for 3, struck out looking his last time up. Heath Mann looks in for the sign. And the pitch. And a sweeping breaking ball. Nicely done in there for the called strike by Mann, and it's 0-1. Should this game end here, we'll be back tomorrow night at 7 for the championship tilt. There's the 0-1, swing and a miss. And that makes it 0-2, and now St. X is 1 strike away. No balls, 2 strikes. Man comes set. And the pitch. Fouled away off to the right. Good job there by Miller to get contact on it and keep the at-bat and the ball game alive. No balls, 2 strikes to Cole Miller. Here's the set now, and the kick and the pitch. Swung on and a bouncer to Declan Smythe that's short. He has it, throws to first base, and we will go on to a second championship round game tomorrow night. And St. Xavier, after losing to Roosevelt on Friday, they have come all the way back and have won now 4 in a row to force a championship game tomorrow night against Indiana South Bend. Final totals in this game. For St. Xavier, 4 runs, 12 hits, no errors. For Indiana South Bend, 2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. So there will still be more baseball to be played here in the CCAC tournament. And we'll have it for you via our live stream starting tomorrow night right around 7 o'clock. As it'll be once again a rematch between Indiana South Bend and St. Xavier. An elimination game for both teams. And one will survive and take the title here in 2023. Our thanks to Dave LaCanna on stats. Thanks to Jake DiLorenzo on our graphics operations for our TV feed. And our thanks to all of you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the 2 broadcasts today. Back again tomorrow night. The final here this afternoon again is the St. Xavier Cougars 4 and the Indiana South Bend Titans 2. We'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully for game number 2 of this championship round, game 15 of the tournament. And it should be a great one. Final 4-2 again, St. Xavier over Indiana South Bend. For all of us who worked on the broadcast today, this is Tom Westenfeld. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you join us tomorrow night. Either way, until we speak to you again, from Joliet, we thank you for being here, and we wish you all a very pleasant good afternoon.